Sup Flare Squad, welcome back to my channel and to another This Week with BTS ARMY. Before we begin, I do want to let you guys know that we are doing another giveaway for our Interlude ARMY podcast. We do giveaways basically every week. But this week, we're giving away BTS's Map of the Soul Special Edition ARMY Bombs. Now, I believe this is sold out already on the Weverse. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this was kind of like a struggle to get. But we are giving away two, you guys. If you haven't heard about this podcast yet, it is a podcast for you guys, hosted by me and Jose Ochoa TV. So far, we've done interviews with so many amazing people, you guys. Like, it's crazy. In our recent episode, we interviewed Nate Waka, one of the mentors for BTS's American Hustle Life. We also had the chance to interview Dr. Murray Stein, author of Jung's Map of the Soul, the book that was used as inspiration for BTS's concept. We also interviewed the co-producer of Jungkook's song My Time, his name is Sleep Deez, and so much more. To support us, go ahead and download the Himalaya app, which is for free, then follow Interlude ARMY, but you can also find us on Spotify and Apple Music. Now, to enter the giveaway, all you gotta do is go to our recent episode, which is episode 22, and the giveaway instructions should be in the first 5 minutes or so. First news, we're starting off with new music. Max, the artist, was able to drop his track list last night, and we were able to hear a 28-second preview of his upcoming song that's featuring Suga, and it is called Blueberry Eyes. Max's new album will be released on September 18, but low-key hoping that he's gonna drop Blueberry Eyes as a pre-release so we can listen to it earlier, because September feels so far right now. More mysterious information on possible future contents for BTS. There's so much that literally happened this week. It's just been a week. Hello? Let's start with the trademark logo, BTS Universe Story, which was registered under Big Hit. Now, in August 21, 2019, Big Hit dropped BTS's new game official concept art teaser. There was no official name for this game yet at that time, but during their Big Hit corporate briefing on August 25, 2019, Bang PD announced that they were preparing a game project with Netmarble, utilizing BTS's Universe's storyline. This was expected to be released during the third quarter of 2020, and so now it is the third quarter of 2020, so it could literally drop any second now. So the screenshots that we're seeing now of BTS's Universe Story could be the name of the game. We don't know yet. In connection to all this storyline though, they have officially announced the Notes 2 book will be released. Breathe, girl. Oh my god, my head. So for those who are like, what is the Notes book? Girl, hold on, let me get mine. So this was the first Notes, which is Note 1. Now, it's not necessarily like a book with storylines and stuff like that. Literally, it's like the little booklets that you get from the Love Yourself and Map of the Soul albums, which I'll also show you guys how that looks like. So the Notes book contains a bunch of diary-like entries. So it'll give you the character name and the date of the entry, and if you read it, it's like they wrote it, kind of. But this is all based off of BTS's storyline, so it's a fictional universe, you guys. Remember the word fictional, it's not real, okay? Now let me go ahead and show you guys how the booklets look like in the album. So these mini booklets of these little diary entries started during the, I was gonna say Map of the Soul, sorry girl, Love Yourself era. So it started with Love Yourself Her, and it's still ongoing. You'll find it in Map of the Girl. I can't talk today. Map of the Soul 7 and Map of the Soul Persona. They have those booklets in there as well. Alright, so these are the booklets that are in the albums. This is from Tear, this is from Her, this is from Answer. But all of them have different entries. Now this is where it's gonna throw a bunch of people off. It's kind of like you have to have all of the different versions of the album in the Love Yourself series, plus Map of the Soul Persona, plus Map of the Soul 7, plus the Notes Book 1 in order to get all of the entries. Basically, the entries in these booklets you won't find in the book and vice versa. So it's kind of like all these bits of puzzle pieces of the entries. And another thing to note is that the little booklets are all in Hangul, in Korean, and so they do not have the English translations for this, but a lot of amazing translators have translated this online. So you could either Google or Twitter search like Love Yourself, Her Notes, translations, you know what I mean? As for the notes book, they did have a Korean, Japanese, and English version, and so I have the English version. And I believe they're gonna do the same thing for the Notes 2 book. Now, most likely the Notes 2 book will have a bunch of entries that we have never seen before. And you just gotta get all those dates, all those entries, plug it in, and it's hard to keep track of all the entries by your brain. So for me personally, I have created a Google Doc of all like the summary of the notes. It's not like the full on translation of the notes, but just like summary, so I could keep track of like what went on this date. And that's what helped me tremendously to like keep track of everything. But if you guys don't have the time to do that, like to gather all the notes from all these little booklets and stuff, I did create a summary video of just summarizing everything, but also I did create a timeline of all of the notes in order, but I just summarized it, but it's not really up to date. I only did like the Love Yourself series. But so far we got 2 new snippets, little teasers of what's coming in the Notes 2 book. Seokjin, 27 June, year 22. The Smeralda was trampled under my feet and a time loop began again. So if you're not up to date with like what's going on in the storyline, a bunch of these little snippets are like gonna just confuse you, and that's totally understandable if you're confused. First of all, the entry was for June 27. Now we know that Seokjin doesn't get a hold of the Smeralda flower until the end of August, which is August 30. So the fact that it even mentions that the Smeralda was trampled under his feet under June 27, I have 2 theories. Now my main one is that this entry is basically what happened right after August 30. So as soon as the girl got hit by the truck, the Smeralda dropped, it was trampled under his feet, and then the loop began, meaning he traveled back in time. And I think he traveled back to June 27, which is what this entry is dated for. Because there was an entry similar to that where he was like, the last thing he saw was Taehyung like jumping off the platform, and then now he's back to this date. So there was an entry similar to this. My second theory, which I don't really believe in, I'm going with my first one, but just in case, because anything is possible, maybe Seokjin got a hold of the Smeraldo blog. He went through Testeso's blog and was able to find the Smeraldo himself. I don't know, and that's why the Smeraldo appears in June 27, but I think I'm going with my first one, you guys. My first theory makes more sense. The second snippet is Yoongi, 12 May, year 22. Everyone must have their reason for wanting to be dead and for wanting to be alive. Why did Jungkook feel like dying? What did he live for? In the storyline, Yoongi is very suicidal, and he ends up just finding ways to burn himself. Even though Seokjin has tried multiple times to like either save him, he would just find another time to like commit suicide again, until Seokjin realized that if Yoongi realized that he was important to someone, which is Jungkook, he would basically cherish his life more and find a reason to live. Now for this little snippet, he's wondering what made Jungkook want to die. When the boys in the storyline started falling apart, they no longer kept in contact, Jungkook was alone. And to him, the boys, especially Yoongi, were very, very close to him. They were his support, they were his rock. And so when he lost that, he no longer found the reason to want to live. So that was the reason why he wanted to die. This entry was dated for May 12, but we do get another entry that's like a month after, showing us that Yoongi did realize what Jungkook wanted to live for. I'll go ahead and read a little snippet really quick, but it says, Yoongi, 13 June, year 22. I thought of Jungkook's words, it's because I like Hyung's music. It's because when I hear Hyung's piano, I tear up. I wanted to die. I thought about it multiple times in a day, but when I hear Hyung's piano, I want to live. I'm saying that's why. I'm saying Hyung's music is really like my feelings. Now, there's a second screenshot that has been going around Twitter, and it's a domestic video titled "In the SOOP BTS version episode 1. Apparently, a trademark logo was also registered. So the word SOOP means forest in Korean. Now, my theory to this is that this could be like the Bon Voyage, but because they are not able to travel abroad because of COVID-19, maybe this series is kind of like the replacement, not really replacement, but just a new series instead of Bon Voyage. Now, time for some No Jams news. Yes, drama, tea, yay. Earlier this week, an image of BTS on the Time Magazine circulated, and it turned out to be real. And at first, people weren't too happy about the graphic design and how it was photoshopped, but things got worse when screenshots of content from the magazine was released. From incorrect information to mistaking members to sensitive issues and then to discrediting BTS, like it was bad, you guys. First of all, they literally had a section talking about Jin going to the military. Then they captioned a photo saying Suga was in the front when it was actually Jimin, and that BTS performed at the 2018 Olympic Games in Pyeongchang. Like, they never did though. I mean, they did perform at the G100 concert, which was like a celebrating concert 100 days before the start of the Olympic Games. I was there to actually watch it, you guys, in Seoul, Korea. So, and this was in Seoul, Korea. It wasn't in Pyeongchang. So like, they even had the nerve to say Backstreet Boys and NSYNC paved the way for BTS. Like, if we're gonna start with like boy bands, you know, I love Backstreet Boys. I grew up with Backstreet Boys. But if you're gonna discredit like the Jackson 5, like Motown, and if you want to talk about Backstreet Boys but not name Sotaji and Boys, which came out before Backstreet Boys, like yeah. We only got a preview, but we found loads of false information and xenophobic narratives. It's not gonna work, you guys. Now, I did see people trying to blame Big Hit for this issue, but like, so here's what happened, you guys. And it's understandable how they said yes to Time writing this magazine, because the first one came out actually pretty good, you know? So Big Hit only gave permission to Time to write about BTS, but because of press freedom, this prevents Big Hit from vetting or proofreading the content, and Time isn't required to send them anything for approval. I mean, this has happened before with other celebrities and also with BTS, with the whole like THR situation. Back to good news, or I mean, this is good news, but I'm gonna get into more like tea. BTS will be performing at the iHeart Music Festival in September, and they are headliners, you guys. So yes, they're the headliners for this event. Now, the issue that a lot of us are having is that, yo, cool, iHeart is, you know, exposing them. But at the same time, iHeart is not giving BTS radio play. Brian has tweeted out about this issue and also noted how many times iHeart's biggest radio station played BTS. Like, they know BTS's popularity and demand. Obviously, they made them headliners for this event as well, yet radio stations still refuse to acknowledge BTS and is not playing them. But that never stopped us from trying and for pushing our boys. So, you know, like, ARMY's working hard, you guys. But don't worry, guys, I'm gonna end with some good news. So BTS and ARMY have yet again broken another Guinness World Record. This time, they broke the record for the most viewers for a concert live stream. Bang Bang Con The Live was broadcasted in 107 different countries, with over 756,000 viewers officially. Now, this doesn't even count the people like me. For example, I bought the tickets, but I missed the live stream because it happened at like 2 in the morning for me. So congratulations, BTS ARMY, for breaking another record. We're always making history, breaking records, yes. And we're gonna continue to do more. But yes, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to click that like button and also join the Flare Squad by subscribing, you guys. Someone help, I can't talk.